everyone, it's AGirlWhoSims. Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome. You're in for a bit of a treat today, and if you are rejoining me, hey, how are you? Thank you for sticking by. So you may be wondering, first of all, why I didn't start this build from scratch. That is because I had no intention of actually building this build. Story time. So it was 3 a.m. this morning and I needed to get up to go to the bathroom. You know, thanks to that good old sleepy tea last night. And then I got back in bed and all I could hear very loudly was birds tweeting. Now, I'm all for nature, I'm all for birds, you know, tweeting. I think it's a lovely sound. You know, except when it's 3 a.m. and I want to get back to sleep. But I didn't. I just couldn't get back to sleep because that's all I could hear. I'm one of those people, like, once I hear something like that, or once I'm like on a train of thought, it's just not gonna end. But I mean, I ended up building this partly because of it. But then Jamie had to be awake for 5 because he's going to London. Well, he's gone to London. So I mean, I was awake to say goodbye to him, so I guess that's a good thing. And then I think it was about 6:30, 7, I was just kind of like, okay, I'm just gonna go play The Sims, just, you know. And this is because I already had like a build in mind that I wanted to do, which was kind of like a castle-y one with a bridge, because I saw a tutorial on Facebook and I was like, ooh, I want to try this. And then I tried it and it didn't work, and I was like, oh, because the person hadn't updated their game yet, so that's probably why it works on theirs and not mine. So I ended up going into a different lot in Windenburg and trying something new. This is kind of inspired from Animal Crossing. I don't know if you guys will get that, but I don't know, I hope. I think it's in Let's Go to the City. It's kind of like I'm going for that kind of thing. And also in Get Famous, there is like the shop fronts that at one point I was like, ooh, I could just cheat and use that, but then they wouldn't really be functional, so I just made them functional. So basically I created Windenburg Village. This is completely from scratch, and I think it's the first build that I've really put 110% into. Like, I didn't stop and not finish furnishing it. I really went all out. There's no custom content. I know, I'm shooketh. Like, I just couldn't believe it. And I don't usually say this often because I'm kind of a pessimistic Polly, if you didn't know. But I'm actually kind of proud of this build. I don't know if that's, you know, I don't know, of me to say that. Am I allowed to say that about my build? I like it. I like it. I think I did a good job for somebody who's not a confident and great builder. I'm happy with how it turned out. So basically, you can't see it yet, but so far we have some flat stores because that was just for me to get the fronts done. But I decided, I mean, I feel like I kind of stuck to the Windenburg style in some of them. You've got these 3 houses here, well, 3 shop things that are kind of more old style, and then on the other side we've got more of the new builds. I kind of made this one here all viney to kind of fit in. Yeah. So these ones here, these are purely shops. There is no apartments above because they are literally squares, and you know, you just couldn't fit an apartment above that. So it's kind of like a 2-level, you know, bakery, women's boutique, and bookstore. So the middle shop I had intended for to be a grocery store, but that didn't happen. That ends up being a women's clothing boutique. The shop next to the men's clothing store was meant to be a women's one, but then I really like the space to kind of use that for a children's one, which you'd see soon. Yeah, I like what I did. I think I kind of got the feel of it being kind of a community village kind of thing. I literally put so much effort in, and I feel like nobody's gonna see it, but that's okay. I mean, I'm happy with it. I think, you know, I can't wait to use it in my game. Yeah. And honestly, I think it's really boosted my confidence level with building because I didn't pre-plan this build. I didn't, you know, I don't know. I didn't go on Pinterest for inspiration. I just did it. which I think sometimes is the best thing to do, is just to kind of get an empty lot and just go with the flow, which is what I was doing, and hence why there isn't the first bit of the recording, because I didn't know it was going to turn out the way it did. But as soon as I started to realize that it was going to go somewhere, I just kind of was like, okay, I'm going to hit record. This would make for a really cool video. So here we are. So this is where I think I'm like doing the vet clinic, because obviously we can't have a flat store. So I think the vet clinic is the biggest kind of shop lot kind of thing that's in this area. It's got 2 apartments on the upstairs, which I added. There's one that's really dingy and kind of run down, and then there's another one which is kind of like a cute, weird family one, which I made the space really awkward. Yeah. And the roofing was surprisingly easy for this, because I thought I'm not really going to go super extravagant, because it's a pretty basic kind of build, and I feel like it doesn't need like crazy roofing, because I think you'll find when you do go to some kind of villagey shoppy areas, their roofs are pretty auto-roofed. So I had so much fun doing the vet clinic, because I've actually never really done, I think I've done like 1 or 2 vet clinics before. No, I think it's just one, and I use custom content. So this one was really fun to use, and it isn't like a separate build as well, it's kind of like in with other builds, so I really got to go to town with it. It's a very small one, it's not a large vet clinic, but it's enough to get the job done. There is an operating room, I think you call it. There are 2 checkup rooms, there's one for cats and one for dogs. There's a little seating area, you've got your check-in stuff, you've got your desk. Later on I did add kind of like a back garden kind of thing, just something for the dogs to go run around in. So that was fun. So I didn't add like 2 comfy chairs. I kind of like stuck with the white wood. I think it's a nice look for it, especially it kind of goes with the outside as well. Oh yep, I added some pet balls outside, because you know, pets get thirsty. I had so much fun, and I'm really appreciative for this game, for this expansion pack. I think it's a really good pack. We got a really great new world, we got some really good build items, we got some good cast items, and most importantly, we got pets. So, you know, you can't really fault EA. I think the only thing is that the stuff with my first pet really should have come with this, but hey, it's still good content. So I think I spent quite a bit of time kind of working on the vet. I think this is just kind of where I was just getting a lot of the stuff in here done. I think some of it was kind of the tedious things that I was doing, and then yeah. I added a TV, of course, because you need entertainment. This is like the little waiting area. There's some vending machines. They're currently empty because at this point I'm not building in play mode, I'm just building in build mode. But you know what, I would like to go to this vet clinic. I think it's very clean, it's got good, it's very spacious. I like it. I tried to add like a lot of posters but not overdo it. I think I ended up adding a fish tank at some point, because I kind of felt bad that I wasn't really using them, because I don't really use the fish tanks that often. So I was just kind of like, okay, I need to like add that in there to kind of give it that bit of a, yeah, I don't know. And then I added some cute little paw prints as well, to kind of give it that cute little vet clinic vibe. Is this where I start working on the apartments? No, this is where I start working on the actual operating rooms and checkup rooms. And I think I did like the same style in all of them. They all have the same walls and floors again, because I don't see why they'd have different, to be honest. No, I don't know why they'd have different ones. I just kind of added the same for all of them. And as you can see, my crossfading really sucks, because I'm editing this and I'm just like, what am I doing? So I'm guessing this is where this is the cafe. So this is the first one on the front line. So this is my little cafe that I'm doing. I'd kind of say it's kind of modernish, which is kind of what I was going for, is something clean and modern. Because then we have the bakery, which is more kind of rustic. I'd like to think of this to be a cafe where you can come out and hang out with your friends, get a nice meal. And actually this again, so my first job, I was like 16, 17 and I worked in a cafe, and the layout was kind of similar to this. The windows and the doors were at the front, and then they had the counter where they are now, and then where the toilets are, that would go through further down where we would have like more supplies and stuff, and like the staff toilets, the customer toilets, and then the back, which would be like the kitchen, well, the cleaning bit where we'd do all the dishes and stuff. So this is kind of inspired from my first job, except it's a lot more brighter and more modern. And I think as well, it's a bit more, I'd like to go to this one. Yeah, I really like this cafe. I think it's fun. There's not really a lot going on, which I do like, because sometimes you can go to a cafe and they really just overdo it with the decor, or as Hip Hip Renee would say, if I can say her name, she would say decor. I love the way she says it. It's so like, I mean, I guess it's her accent because she's from New England, so she's like decor. Sorry, Renee, if I've just offended you for your accent, I apologize. Anyway, so yeah, here is where I'm adding my detail. I'm adding all of my salt and pepper shakers, because I like clutter, so I'm adding it. I think I just put a toilet and some hand sanitizer, because have you seen the size of those toilets? There is not enough room for a sink. I wanted to make it, at least functional. So although I don't think you can use the hand sanitizer, at least it's there. At least the thought is there. So this is where I wanted to do the upstairs apartment for this one, and obviously there was no way in heck I was getting stairs down below in the main cafe area, so I added kind of like the side stairs, which are on the outside of the building, and then I did a cute little apartment, which, don't get used to this apartment because I end up changing it, because in another apartment I feel like I wanted to go for that style more, and I made this one into a very like bright, young, hip apartment using a lot of the City Living items, which again, City Living is honestly another expansion pack that I just love. I think it's super fun, just like this build that I'm gonna do now, which this is the toy store / kids clothing store that I ended up doing. This was meant to be where the kids boutique was, however I thought no, I much prefer this space. There's more room for me to do what I want with it, and yeah, I think this swap worked out well. Although I couldn't really see the mannequins as much in the window as much as I wanted to, I still like that they were there. And yeah, I mean, it was just a good space to do it. And obviously all of these mannequins are naked because I'm in build mode, and that is something that I don't know why you just can't do. One thing that did kind of annoy me, which, I mean, yeah, no, it annoyed me, was that you can only place 10 mannequins per lot, which I do understand because I guess it's, what's the word? I don't know. But yeah, I guess it's something to do with the actual game and how it would run if you had more than that. But again, that was another reason why I actually did swap, I think. Yeah, that was the reason why I swapped, so that in the smaller boutique I could use less mannequins in the window, and I could use more in the children's store, so that was really nice to do. So I added cute little cloud shells, which I love. I added cute little clutter bits here, there and everywhere, just to kind of make it seem like a little, cute little, I don't even know what this place is. Is it a toy store? Is it a clothing store? Who knows? But all I know is it looks really fun. So this wallpaper, I've never actually used this wallpaper before in my Sims life. I'm not really a big fan of it. I think for me it's just too much. I'm very minimal sometimes when it comes to my decoration. But I thought, it's a kid's store, what the heck? I'm just gonna go all out with it. I'm gonna use some funky colors, and instead of just using one set of the wallpaper, I'm gonna use every single one of them. And I think some people might think it's too overbearing, but I like it. I like that it's fun and colorful. It looks like a really fun children's store. I would like to go here. Well, not now, because I'm not a kid, but no, actually no, I'd still like to go and just visit and be like, hey, this is cool, and this is colourful. Yeah, so I think this is where I start adding clothes, because I'm like, oh, there's mannequins in the window. That'd be kind of weird if we're not selling clothes. I kind of wish that we had more clothing clutter to have for these kinds of builds, but it's fine. I still appreciate what we got. So this is where I changed it from the old apartment to this new one, which is more fun, and I think more for like a younger, more hip couple, or a singleton, or you know, a group of, well, you can't really be a group of friends because there's only one bed. But yes, this is just where I kind of changed it all. I made it like a lot more colourful. I mean, again, I've not really used a lot of these colourful items in my Sims gaming life, and I don't know why, because you know, when I'm using them now, I'm like, ooh, I really like that. But I think sometimes I'm too afraid to go away from what I know, which is white walls and wood floors. But it was really fun to kind of like be different and just take a risk. I mean, hopefully you guys like it and the risk pays off, but I like that I did something different. I like that I wasn't just doing the same kind of apartments over and over again. And as well, you can tell that they're really small and awkwardly shaped, I don't know, awkwardly something. Like the layout is awkward. And that's because I feel like in like these kind of apartments above shops, they sometimes can be awkward. I hope. I think I'm just saying that to justify this being like really bad and terribly laid out, but that's my justification. Oh, I honestly really love all the colour that I've put into this. I think it's such a funky apartment. So as you can see, the one next to it is super modern. Then we have like another one which is, so the one that you just saw, which was white and blue, the first apartment kind of had that feel for it, and I was like, no, I can't do that again. That's going to be too ridiculous. So I just changed it, and this is just where I kind of do like the grungy, grim apartment. And they can't even afford a proper sink. Look at that thing. Yeah, it's pretty. It's got the essentials. You know, you can live in there, you can survive in there. And then we just skipped ahead of the apartment, and we've just done our car park. White tarmac, of course, because we're about saving the planet. I'm kidding. No, I'm not. Yeah. So I added like little road sign things. I don't know why. I just really like them. And then I added a parking meter machine, which won't be functional purely because of the way I've placed it, and also because we don't have cars, so you just can't use it. That area is purely decor only, and another reason why I added like the little car bit was because that bit was kind of looking empty, and I didn't know what to add there. I felt like if I added another small shop, it would be too crowded and kind of block out the other shops that I have. So I thought, no, a car park works. It's a small little village place. Some people might drive here, so I just kind of went with it. And then, I add a bus stop sign. I think that's a bus stop sign. It kind of looks like an underground sign to me, because obviously it is from City Living, but I added it anyway, as if it's kind of like a map thing to Windenburg. So anyway, this is where I start doing the women's boutique. I changed the door to make it seem a bit more classy. Is that the word? Classy? More chic? Classy? Chic? I just added it because it looked nicer than the other door. The other door was for my grocery store, which I didn't end up doing, so we're changing the door. So yeah. This is the nice classy one. And I really like as well that it's, because now I think you do get some boutiques that are kind of in the older buildings, which I really like the contrast of that, where it's like modern and new, but in an old kind of decadent building. I really like that contrast. So I add a few flowers to add a bit of colour, and then you don't get to see the inside of me doing that apparently. I just like knocked my earring, and that really hurts. So this is where I'm doing the nursery, and by the way, part of this nursery isn't really functional, so I say this every single time I do a nursery, but we need more nursery items. I had to like make a makeshift changing table from an item from Cool Kids stuff and the base game chest of drawers, purely because we don't have enough baby items, enough nursery items. And I kind of wish we did, because there is some, like, when I use custom content, I love doing nurseries and kids' rooms because I have so much to work with. However, when it comes to doing it without custom content, I'm a bit kind of like, because I think some of the stuff that does come with it is a bit too overbearing. But anyway, oh, we're in the boutique. Look at it, how fancy. I added the wallpaper from, I think it's Glamorous Stuff, is that what it's called? Oh, I don't know, but I really like the wallpaper. It speaks class to me. And then I used the kind of wardrobe things from Get Famous, because again, they kind of speak like a classy boutique thing to me. This is a very small boutique, by the way. It's going to be very expensive. So if you want to shop here, you better have the dollar. It's very kind, again, I mean, I guess it is kind of minimalistic. It's just a boutique. There's going to be just one person who works there because it's very small and it's not a big shop, so you don't really need a lot of workers. I don't imagine it to get incredibly busy. So this is where I go on to doing the bookstore, and I really wanted to go, like, although the outside doors are like white, I wanted the inside to be very brown, you know, like the brown wood colours, purely because I feel like a lot of my builds on this have been very white and bright. So I wanted to add a bit more of a darker contrast, so I made like a really kind of old style bookstore. Even on the upstairs, the windows are super low. I was going to give him a computer, then I thought, no, he's going to have a book and a feather pen, because this guy is old school, or girl, or whoever owns this bookstore. Again, I didn't do too much with this. I just kind of added a few bookshelves here and there, some old pictures. I think I had quite a lot of old pictures just to kind of emphasize on how old the building is. Yeah, again, I don't really do a lot with these places purely because they were really small, and you know, there's not really a lot you can do with that without over cluttering it and making it non-functional. So I hope that that's okay. And then at this point I'm starting to shrink down the lights, because something I do, and it's a really bad habit of mine, is I will place these sort of lights everywhere and they're super big, and then I just won't change them, and then it comes to the build and there are just these giant lights just everywhere. So I was like, no, I'm being dedicated to this build. I'm gonna do it properly. I'm gonna go all out. And then this bit is where it kind of goes, I don't know, I imagine this to be like, so the community village is kind of like, because it's in Windenburg and you've got like the cool ponds and stuff in there, so I wanted to have that there, and I think I just added it because I didn't really know what to do with it. Oh, I'm so tired. So this is where you think, oh, this isn't that bad, but then I had a giant ass pond, and then I just add tons of rocks, and then it goes all waterfally, and then you're probably just thinking, what the heck does this have to do with a community shopping village? Like, what? How does anyone access this? And the answer to that question is, you don't. It is there for pure looks only. I think you might be able to access it from one of the apartments maybe, or if you can just walk through the trees. I was adding these and then I thought, no, like, no one's gonna see them, why would I do all of that? But saying that, I added tons of rocks. Here you can see, and I think I would like this more if it wasn't in this build, but I just ended up going with it. I like that the rocks are all kind of like layered up, and I thought, well, I may as well add some water to that. And by some, I mean a lot. Well, it's coming to the end of the video, and I've been speaking for almost 25 minutes, so if you've stuck around this long, props to you, like, thank you. And yeah, please let me know what you guys think of this build. If you didn't like it, that's okay, you're entitled to your opinion. But if you did, give it a big thumbs up, tell me what you thought. It is up on the gallery, so I'll leave that information down below. And just thank you guys so much for watching. You guys are the best. And yeah, I'm gonna go. Have a nice day, guys, or morning, or evening, or birthday. Happy birthday, if it's your birthday. Woo! So yeah, peace.